Welcome to Frequency Matters, the RF and Microwave Update Series. I'm Pat Hindle, and I'm here with my co-host Eric Heim. We covered our January radar and antenna-themed issue with the technical articles in the last episode, so in this one we'll cover the products. As a reminder, the cover feature is the role of RF over fiber in an autonomous military future, and that's contributed by Optical Zanu. It reviews the growing autonomous vehicle and weapons markets and the benefits of various applications from using the RF over fiber solution to replace waveguide and coaxial cables. Eric, what do we have for tech briefs in this issue?
Well, thanks, Pat. We had a tech brief from Krytar, where they announced a family of Butler matrices covering 0.5 to 40 gigahertz in bands, and they seem to get some good performance. And of course, lots of commercial and defense applications are using phased arrays these days, and Butler matrices provide a fairly simple method for beamforming. We also had one from Pitso in Austria, and they're an interesting company and a bit new on our radar. And speaking of radar, and I'm going to ignore that bad segue and just mention that Pitso introduced an X-band SAR, synthetic aperture radar, that's pretty sophisticated with some impressive performance, and it targets a whole host of applications.
And we had one product feature, a liquid nitrogen calibrated noise source family that aids in noise figure measurements by Aerovant. So Aerovant now has a series of noise sources, and they meet the various test and measurement requirements from 0.5 to 220 gigahertz, so quite the frequency range there. And so turning to the news, the rumors were right. Synopsis and Ansys announced that they're entered an agreement where Synopsis will acquire Ansys, so big acquisition there. Ansys shareholders will receive some cash and shares of Synopsis common stock, and that represents a total value in December of $35 billion. And so this will bring together Synopsis's pioneering semiconductor electronic design automation with Ansys's broad simulation and analysis portfolio, so really creates a leader in silicon to systems design solutions. There were two direct-to-digital RF converter releases. Case expanded its product offerings with a new direct-to-digital RF converter, and it's designed to optimally meet the bandwidth and form factor requirements of radar, electronic warfare, and C4 ISR mission applications. It's with the Case Tornado converter, and it has 8 transmit and 8 receive channels, and it's paired with an Intel FPGA with direct RF series and a 3U SOSA aligned configuration. And Mercury Systems on the same day introduced a direct RF system on module that will detect and process adversary emissions from a wide portion of the electromagnetic spectrum. The DRF 2580 is a 4-channel system on module, and it's based on the Intel FPGA, and that converts between analog to digital signals at 64 gigasamples per second. And it's available in several form factors to meet a variety of needs. And so we covered several product releases from CES 2024 in Las Vegas that took place not too long ago. And now, as part of our CES coverage, Qorvo is bringing the future of IoT to us with cutting-edge technology that is shaping a smarter, more connected world. They released the first of many episodes of the 4-year innovation, the new series for education and entertainment. And in this first episode, Qorvo is driving into the evolution of the IoT. So let's watch that video now.
We're well into the evolution of the IoT, and I think we're finally about to deliver on the promise. It's taken a lot of innovation in connectivity technologies and efficiency of those technologies, but also security. AI at the edge is helping add a lot of value, and also bringing cost-effective solutions to the market is really, really important. There's a lot of different standards that come into play when you look at IoT, and those are beginning to harmonize, and we're seeing lots of new use cases that can leverage multiple technologies to bring even more value to the end players in IoT. As we see the lower cost technologies, higher performance, better battery life, and so forth, and in particular industrial applications and manufacturing and healthcare, a lot of opportunity there to bring real value to the industry. At the end of the day, it's not about technology, of course, it's about creating a more connected world that operates a lot more efficiently and safely.
So we really look forward to other episodes coming from Qorvo on this topic. Eric, what did you see in the news?
Well, there was a really interesting announcement that Keysight, in conjunction with CNRS and Lille University in France and Osaka University in Japan, have achieved 1.04 terabit per second transmission. So that breaks that 1 terabit per second barrier that 6G targets. And to get to that data rate, they use terahertz photodiodes, an electronics-based receiver operating at 500 to 724 gigahertz with up to 64 QAM and 14 carriers aggregated. So a pretty impressive implementation to get to that result. And we also, according to a report by Dell'Oro Group, saw that fixed wireless access is kind of bucking the CapEx trend that we're seeing with some of the other infrastructure segments. They say that fixed wireless access revenues grew by 23% in 2023, and they're on pace to surpass $7 billion in 2027. And they attribute that growth primarily to subscriber growth in North America.
And for events, as I said in the last episode, I'm heading out to Santa Clara very shortly for DesignCon, and that covers the Signal Integrity Journal. And we'll be distributing our first copies of the 2024 edition, so it has some great material in there. And at the end of February, which is only a few weeks after this show, we'll be going to Barcelona for Mobile World Congress, and my dance card is filling up quickly, as they would say. Eric, how about you?
Well, as we mentioned last time, we're changing our format for EDICon Online in 2024. Instead of doing it all in 1 month, we're spreading it out over the year with 4 educational days taking place months apart. Our first EDICon Online Educational Day is April the 24th, covering PCB, interconnect, and EMC, EMI topics. So please mark your calendar for that. And the keynote will be given by Gus Pinella of Molex, covering the road from 1 gigabit per second NRZ to 224 gigabit per second PAM4. And that wraps up this episode. Our sponsors are RFMW and Qorvo. RFMW is a technical distributor of RF and microwave products and now power management. When you start your next design, consider their multiple product lines. Qorvo is a global leader in RF and power electronics solutions, serving mobile, infrastructure, IoT, defense and aerospace, and power management markets. And please remember, as a member of the industry, a subscription to Microwave Journal is free, so please visit our site and subscribe today if you aren't already a reader. And thanks for watching, and please join us next time for another Frequency Matters.